Every year in the NFL, it's a new team. As far as goals go, we have one. Putting a f***ing ring on our finger.
Welcome to the Buccaneers Observer Podcast. This is Ralph Phillips.
I'm Molly Bay.
Today is Friday the 13th, November 13th, 2020. Ooh, spooky. Bad stuff happens on the 13th, right? Isn't that how it goes?
That's what I hear.
Well, you know, our bad stuff happens Sunday, so we're good. We're good on the 13th today. No bad stuff.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too. Got a good show for you today. We're going to be going over the All-22 film from the Saints debacle. Cover a little bit of Buccaneers news. Do you have any news?
I do have a little bit of news, yeah.
I'm glad you do, because I ain't got nothing but All-22 stuff. And then we're going to cover the Kittens game coming up.
Yeah.
So got a big drama-packed show for you. Molly has been under the weather all week. I think the game Sunday really messed with her immune system. And
something. So I did not call in sick because of the Saints game. It's because I was sick.
Yeah, right. I think that started it.
Yeah.
Depression will make you sick.
Stress.
So we got Panthers coming up. It's kind of a big game. It's a big game for us, and just get this monkey off our back, man. We played the Giants and the Raiders, and in both games, it just seemed like we were just blah. And we beat the Raiders, but it wasn't a fantastic performance. Not like Green Bay. It seems like after Green Bay, we've kind of gone downhill. With Vita getting hurt, that really hurts our defense a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And the Raiders game, we kind of declined a little bit. The Giants game, we were bleh. And then this game was just a total disaster from top to bottom. Just bad football. Now, we ask ourselves, did we win the game? Did we lose the game? Did we get beat? Or did the refs do it? Well, in this game, I can say definitively we sucked. We just beat ourselves. We played bad football. It really had nothing to do with the Saints. Now, not to take anything away from the Saints, although I can't stand them. They played pretty good football.
They're a good team.
Yeah.
And you can't come to a good team like that and expect to win and play when you play like that.
Yes, especially the way we played and as many mistakes as we made. It wasn't like they were beating us. We were really beating ourselves. Just silly stuff all over the field. And like I said, from top to bottom, from the coaches to the water boys, it seemed like we just had bad football. So we're going to get into that. We got any fact checker follow-ups?
No.
Of course not. We were perfect again. We're batting 1,000. I think that's what they say in baseball, isn't it?
I don't have time for other sports. Sorry.
They scored a goal unit.
I know. If it's not a touchdown or a field goal, I don't care.
Oh, my goodness. All right. So this game was it reminded me, the fans' reactions afterwards, which you kind of expect. Everybody's upset.
Especially like that. That one really just
it
kind of pissed me off because it was just, we were not competitive in any sense whatsoever at any point.
No. And we're a much better team. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
And we played almost like we played in the past years, where we just come out in some games and just screw up left and right. It seems like there's no leadership, no communication or something. Very, very strange. But with this game, when we lost, it reminded me of the 2008 financial crisis.
What?
Now, yes.
Like a whole economy just collapsed.
Well, more the fans' reactions to it. Not just the fans, but the media's reaction to it. No matter what your political beliefs are or leanings or how you view the world, you can find fault and blame who you want to blame in this game. If you don't like the general manager, you could attack the general manager with this game. If you don't like the offensive linemen, you can attack them. If you don't like the receivers, attack them. If you don't like the secondary, attack them. If you don't like the coordinators, attack them. Because they all screwed up. All of them. And it's just like the financial crisis. When the financial crisis happened, I read all kinds of books and studied up on it and everything. And the conclusion I came to is that everybody was at fault. Everybody, the American people, the regulators, the banks, everybody. But depending on who you listened to, their political leanings or the way they viewed the world, they could pick out a certain group and just attack them with it. Like if you thought it was, low income people were getting houses they couldn't afford. Yes, that was true. Or, big banks were preying on, the predatory lending. Yes, that was true. Or, with the greed of the real estate market. Yes, that was true. It was all true. It was all true. But yet, no matter it depends on who you listen to as to, who they're going to attack. And it's the same way with this game, with our fan base. I've heard everything from the coordinators suck, that we need to fire Byron Leftwich, need to get rid of Bruce Arians. Todd Bowles played a horrible game. He did this prevent defense, this off coverage zone defense. I heard, the offensive line, Joe Haig.
That's what stuck out to me when I watched your videos. Your breakdown was, wow, the offensive line really needs to get their shit together. That's how I felt.
Yeah. If you don't like Brady, there was stuff in there to go, Brady, didn't
washed up, right. Overrated.
Yeah. I mean, he had that one pass that was just absolutely bonkers. Never seen him do anything like that before. As a matter of fact, I've heard a couple national analysts say that too. Never seen Brady throw a pass like that. He basically just threw a duck straight up in the air. It was intercepted. And he was running. I don't know, crossed his body, he threw it. It was never seen anything like that. So, there's plenty of blame to go around, but nobody is at fault because everybody was at fault. I mean, you can't point to Todd Bowles' defense and say, oh, that's the reason why we lost. We had one series that I saw where we played that soft zone coverage. It was 4 plays, and they started on their 38. It was after Brady threw an interception. They started on their 38, drove down the field in 4 plays, and then we stopped them. And that was the only time they got a field goal. And that's when we played that soft zone coverage.
Oh, really?
And, we do it during games all the time. We'll sprinkle it in. Like I said, we play every type of coverage you can think of, every type of defense you can think of. We just mix them all in and disguise them and all that good stuff. I didn't see anything in this game where I went, why are we playing so much zone? It was just like it is every other game. It's just that one series, I think, it really stood out because they moved down the field so quick. In 4 plays, they went like 50 yards. And it looked like, you could definitely tell they were playing zone, and they played zone that whole series. But like I said, they stopped them at the end.
Can you just give a quick synopsis of the defense and why you say, like, they don't really game plan for anyone in particular? It's the system. It's the same every game.
Yeah, it's like our offense is made to adjust in game, play by play. And our defense is pretty much the same way. We go out there and line up, and depending on what their offense does, we line up in strange formations on their offense. It's very, very rare if you see us line up in an expected defense. And then when the ball is snapped, a lot of times, we adjust our defense to how their receivers are running. So it's almost the exact same thing as on the offensive side of the ball, whereas on the offensive side of the ball, we don't necessarily have set routes that the receivers run so much as we have routes that adjust depending on what the defense is doing.
That's why there's such a learning curve for the young guys, especially in the secondary.
Right. And in this game, there was a lot of miscommunication between the receiver and the quarterback.
See, well, I was going to say for our defense, I thought we would be over the miscommunication issues.
No, not in this game. We definitely had a lot of miscommunication issues. A lot. So we're at a stage now where the good thing is it's not because of lack of skill. The bad thing is
it is lack of execution.
Right. If we don't get our execution better, we're not even going to make the playoffs at this rate. It was just a bad performance. And it's been 3 games in a row where we've gradually declined in our performance, especially on defense. And this one was just a hot mess. Let's go through some of the stuff we saw. One thing I will say, the refs again screwed us. Not near as bad as they did in the first week, but almost. There was 24 uncalled penalties. Three of them, I know, only 3 against the Bucs. So that left 21 penalties. Out of those 21 penalties, I'd say, I think I didn't write it down. Yeah, I did. 18 of them were holds. So they didn't call holds at all, hardly, in this game. Donovan Smith got called for holding in the first quarter, which was a complete BS call, I thought. He was pushing the guy, and the guy turned around, and when he did, Donovan put his hands up in the air to show that he wasn't holding the guy, and then the guy kept going, and he ran into Donovan's hand with his helmet. So Donovan just kind of yanked his helmet real quick. He didn't grab it or nothing. He just kind of, it was almost like he was pulling his arm back to his body, and the guy's helmet got in the way. And you could see the guy's head move a little bit, but it was no big deal. Now, in the third quarter, I think it was the third quarter, the same exact thing happened with Shaquille Barrett. 71, this is a third quarter, 15 minutes, first play of the third quarter. The same exact thing happened to Shaquille Barrett. He was going 71, stuck his hand out, got a piece of Shaquille Barrett helmet as he was going by. And, you know, it just kind of knocked it to the side a little bit. They didn't call it. So I wrote that one down. I was like, normally I wouldn't call that a holding, but they did, so screw it. I actually put that in my notes. Screw them.
I agree.
Yeah. So the refs really sucked on this. They didn't call hardly any holding. When they did, it was against us. It was crappy things. There was 3 false starts on their side that they didn't call. I put one of them, maybe 2 in the video. The first one I didn't because it was so ticky-tacky. Now, they were very quick. They were, you know, the people would move a quarter of a second before the ball was snapped. But that's false start. You know, you could say, you know, it's kind of hard for the refs to see that. Well, you know, that's their job. You know, when I did it in regular speed, you could see it. You know, and then when you do it in slow motion, you can really see it. So I'm like, well, if I can see it, why can't they see it? That's all they got to do is
they're standing right there.
They're standing right there. It's their job. They sit there and look and see if these guys move, and they can't see that. Yeah, I don't know. And it was like Davenport, 91. He got a sack on Tom Brady. It's the one where Donovan Smith sacked Tom Brady.
That was so bad.
It was funny. I was laughing so hard watching
come
this
on,
game.
bro.
Yeah, this game was one of those where if you didn't laugh, you cried. So I just laughed all the way through this game film. But Davenport did encroachment. He was across the line before the ball was snapped. And, I mean, it was by a helmet, at least. And they didn't call that. It's just very strange. There was a lot of holding, just like in the first game where their holds greatly affected the game. A couple times on 3rd and short, we would go in to tackle the runner, and guys would get held just enough, you know, so it slowed them down a half a step or a step, and the runner would be able to get first down.
Yeah, there was that one on 33 where he would have had Kamara in the backfield, basically.
Yeah, number 10, is Quan, what's his name? Smith.
I don't know.
He is very bad at holding. And 82, one of their tight ends. At least I think it was 82. I can't remember. There's so much holding. But number 10 is very bad at it. But you have to say he's good at it because he doesn't get called. I guess. Depends on your definition of good and bad. It's a gray area there. So we played horrible. Even if we would have got those penalties, most likely we would have lost this game because we just played so bad. And it wasn't like we played bad as a unit. You know, it wasn't like our secondary sucked. You know, it wasn't like our front seven sucked or our offensive line as a unit sucked or our receivers. It would be one person like every other play, you know, would just make a big mistake or a mistake big enough that they could capitalize on it. And it would cause a cascading effect. We did some of the most, I don't know, basically bad stuff. a lot to get to here.
You did get 4 videos out of it.
Oh, it was a entertaining game to watch. Just there was so much.
You were
going
such
on.
a masochist.
Yeah. Antonio Brown, just want to cover this. He's fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm excited. I want to see him take off. I want to see him have a good game. I think he could do it against Carolina.
Yeah, the interesting thing is that it was really hard for me to tell between him and Chris Godwin. They have a kind of a same style to them, and I kept getting confused watching them, and I'd be like, "That's Chris Godwin? No, that's Antonio Brown."
They're similar builds too, right? Like kind of tall and lanky.
I don't know if Antonio Brown's tall and lanky, but
he's skinny for sure.
They really have the same kind of movements on the field. Antonio Brown's he's just a little bit smoother. You know, he's got a really pretty stride. You know, just almost like a show horse when he's out there running. And
it's like a gazelle.
Yeah, I was watching Scotty Miller was on the opposite side of him one time, and they both took off at basically ran the same pattern, and they were right with each other. So they're about the same speed.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a pretty deep route too. So I'm interested to see Antonio Brown, see what he wants to do, see what he can do. I was kind of disappointed they didn't have him back there at kick returns. Man, we need to do something about our special teams. It's really bad. I'm talking about our punt and kick blocking. It's just bad.
I mean, are players just phoning it in, basically?
I don't think so. I think it's the coaching. I think that, they're not coaching these guys to block. It's almost like they're more worried about them being in the right position than they are what they do after they get there.
Yeah.
There was one, I put it in the video. If you don't know, the Things I Found Interesting video series is out on YouTube, so go check that out when you get a chance. It's 4 videos, all about 10 minutes apiece. Some pretty interesting things in there. But I put in there one time, Connor, 79.
Oh my gosh, this one was awful.
Yeah, he goes and he basically runs 30 yards and doesn't block a single person. And the guy
except for a Buccaneer. He nearly ran into a Buccaneer.
But the guy he was supposed to block ran right past him and made the tackle. But that's endemic of our special teams. There was one punt where they kicked it and we had 3 guys go unblocked right down the middle and just surrounded our punt returner. And I'm sitting there going, how do you mess that up? I mean, that's like punting 101. You at least block the guys in the middle. But we didn't even touch them. They just ran untouched right down the field. Mm. So we have got to, I've been saying this all year long, our special teams is our weakness. It's not a horrible, horrible weakness, but it's going to bite us. And it should have bit us worse in this game. Okay, some of the things. Golston and 58 Barrett, they came on in the second half. They had a pretty good game. Golston had a good game.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But not a whole lot during the first half. As a matter of fact, nobody had a good game in the first half.
I mean, they were up 31-0 by the half, so I'd say so.
It's so sad, so sad. The positive plays that I counted per player. When I do this, I don't look at whether the play worked or didn't work. I just look at if a guy did something above and beyond, basically. If he got a strip sack or if he threw a blocker down or, what I'm saying, if they played well. We had 4 of those in the first quarter. That's including offense and defense.
Oh, my God.
4 good
individual
attempts or plays. Second quarter, we had 5.
Wow.
Third quarter, we had 6. Fourth quarter, we had 1. Yes. So that gives us 16 good plays in this whole game.
Wow.
Now, here are the bad plays. These are when players screw up. We had 12 in the first quarter.
Oh, my God.
15 in the second quarter. 8 in the third quarter. And 10 in the fourth quarter. So that's 45 bad plays to 16 good ones. That is huge, huge deficit. Really, really, really bad. Okay, so going through some of these plays and some of the weird stuff that happened, man. One, we talked about Bruce Arians or Tom Brady with that I don't even know what to call it. It was just it was a bad decision. It was bad technique. It was bad everything. He's running out of the pocket, and he just turns, throws across his body, throws it straight up in the air to a covered Rob Gronkowski, and it gets intercepted. I have never seen Tom Brady do anything like that. It will look like just a pure desperation. It looked like something Jameis Winston would do, And he didn't get hit. He didn't, stumble as he was throwing. It was just a completely bad throw, and it was a bad choice, bad decision. So you got that. Then you got receiver miscommunication. I counted two, maybe three instances where the receiver thought one thing, Tom Brady thought another, so he threw it, and it was just completely off target. So, where's that coming from? One was with Antonio Brown, so you kind of could understand it because he's new.
Yeah.
But the other two, it was like, what? Then we had dropped balls. I counted 3 dropped balls, 2 of them by Gronkowski, 1 in the end zone. And
is that the one that went through his hands? Or you don't count that as a drop?
Yeah, I counted that one as a drop too. He could have caught that ball.
Yeah.
He laid out for it. But that one was a strange one too. If you watch the video, Gronkowski's running down the field and he's beat his coverage. Brady throws it. It's a little deep. Gronkowski's a little slow, but he stretches out. It goes right through his hands. He lands on his face. Incomplete pass. Well, right next to him is Antonio Brown, completely uncovered. Antonio Brown was completely uncovered on his whole route, and he ran the same route that Gronkowski did, just about 10, 15 yards over. So, it was a bad decision by Brady. How he didn't see Antonio Brown running down the field wide open, I don't know. So, you got that. You got Brady screwing up. You got the receiver screwing up. You got Brady and the receiver screwing up. So that right there counted for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different plays. 9 plays where the quarterback and the receivers just crapped the bed. All right. Our punter, what was up with him? He punted short every time. And then, he does our kickoffs too. And he kicked one out of bounds on kickoff. Now, they were obviously trying to kick it high and short so that our guys could get down there and get the ball. It was kind of like an onside kick, but it was short. And it goes out of bounds. So they get the ball on the 40. He played horrible. Our punter played horrible.
I would blame the wind and the rain, except for the Saints play in a dome, and they did not have these issues.
Right. Yeah. And there was hardly any slipping on this field. I think I kind of 2, 3 slips. So you can't play in the rain.
No.
They didn't have a problem with it.
Right.
Okay. So we've got our quarterback made bad plays and bad decisions. Our receivers made bad plays, bad decisions. Our punter made bad plays and bad decisions. Devin White was just, I don't know what was going on with him either. He had a number of tackle for losses where he got in the backfield and just missed tackles. Mm-hmm. This is Devin White we're talking about. It wasn't just Devin White. We had a lot of missed tackles.
Yeah, I noticed that during the game. And it felt like they were slipping through the tackles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you could say, well, Kamara is a hard guy to tackle, but we tackle him all the time.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just Kamara. It was other guys. We missed tackles on Taysom Hill. And, there was one in particular where, I can't remember who it was that caught the ball. One of the Saints guys, he caught the ball. We had 3 guys there. Levante David, Whitehead, I think, and Carlton Davis. I can't remember. I got it written down somewhere. With 3 guys, they all missed the tackle. The guy keeps running, and then Winfield misses the tackle. Ugh. And I think it was Levante David or Devin White came up behind the guy and tackled him. But it was a 15-yard pass that ended up getting 40 yards, due 100% to miss tackles. Ugh. We don't do that.
I know. That's so unusual.
Right. So here we go. We've got Tom Brady, who never throws passes like that. We've got miscommunication between our receivers and our quarterback. We've got our receivers dropping balls. We've got our punter kicking short and out of bounds on the kickoff. And we've got Devin White, Levante David, Whitehead, Winfield, all these guys missing tackles. It's like everybody was not doing their job. then, there was that one time when Levante David got a touchdown scored on him. He got 2 scored on him, I think.
Ugh.
But he's out there covering the tight end. Tight end's in a receiver set over on the left. And Levante recognizes that Alvin Kamara is probably going to run out and do a swing pass or, catch the ball in the flats. So he turns around and he starts yelling at Minter. He's getting Minter's attention. We had 3 inside linebackers out on this play, and Kevin Minter was one of them. So he's telling Minter, he says, hey, keep an eye on Kamara. I'm sure it was more complex than that. But so he's sitting there yelling at Minter, and they snap the ball. And Levante David is caught flat-footed. He wasn't ready. And instead of them going to Kamara like he thought they were, which, was a good call on his part, the tight end just shoots into the end zone and catches the ball. Easiest touchdown in the world because Levante David was caught flat-footed talking to Minter.
So another communication issue.
Another communication issue. And this Levante David we're talking about. He doesn't do that. Ah, man. Yeah, Devin White had a couple tackles for loss, one for a touchdown. We had our cornerbacks just getting beat in coverage, just doing silly stuff. Dean, one time, I don't know. It looked like on film that he got pushed, but it doesn't look like it at the same time. But he just kind of stumbles and goes in the wrong direction, and the guy just turns left, boom, touchdown. We had one where Carlton Davis, our premier elite cornerback, turns the wrong way and gets caught on. And this was for a third down, a third down completion for a first down. We don't do this,
and you cannot do that against Drew Brees.
Yeah, no, not at all. And so we had just mistakes all the way across the board. I don't know if you remember that one touchdown where 10, can't remember that guy's name, Devontae Smith. He was all alone in the end zone, and Drew Brees just lobbed it to him, and he toe touch grabbed it, and there was nobody there. I mean, we just had busted coverage.
Was that the one you thought maybe Bunting was on?
I really couldn't figure out whose responsibility it was. Drew Brees faked all of our guys out with a pump fake to Kamara. They were expecting it to go to Kamara, so 3 of them just dropped everything they were doing and ran towards Kamara, and 10 got by them, and it was just there. It was just complete. We just don't do that. We are a disciplined, smart football team, and we just don't do that. But we did in this game. Joe Haig, did not play well.
Okay, you were talking about John Ledyard's piece on him, and you were a little...
Yeah, I was a little miffed at that. I mean, you don't put a guy in the offensive line and expect him to do well.
Yeah.
It's just, it takes a while for these guys to work together, and it is a lot of working together. And, he didn't get a lot of help. I was really surprised by that. I thought Jensen would keep an eye on him more than he did, but he didn't. And, Donovan Smith was having his own struggles. So, Donovan couldn't help him any. And Haig had 7 bad plays. Now, in reference, Ali Marpet will, on a bad day, have 3.
Yeah.
So Haig did not play well. But at the same time, I don't felt like Haig's performance affected our play that much. There were a couple plays where, it did get to Brady. But, Brady's good to where, even if you do have one offensive lineman, he can get the ball out. He just was not playing well. This Tom Brady. Weird. Donovan Smith, he was Donovan Smith. He had some great plays, and then he had some stinkers, and a lot of watching the game happen. He loves to watch football.
Especially when he's on the field.
Yeah. In the video, God, I was laughing so hard.
Okay. Where he watched, I don't know if this is the one where he helped sack Tom or what. But I love at the end of it, he puts his hand up, like where he's just like, ooh. Like he does a little.
He's always just like, that was a bad play. Gosh, guys. But yeah, Joe Haig ends up getting a quarterback hit on Tom Brady. That one, I laughed so hard on that one because he just gets spun around and pushed right into Brady. And acts like he's going to tackle him. He puts his arms around him, and then it's not like he realizes, oh my gosh, this is Tom Brady. So then he lets go of him and falls to the ground. Tom Brady didn't fall. And then I think it was a play later, Donovan Smith ends up sacking Tom Brady. Tom Brady steps back into Donovan Smith trying to get his defender, and Donovan Smith just plows right over the top of him. I just like, wow, what is going on here? Kappa had a good game. Wirfs had a good game. He got beat once, and then he just handled Cameron Jordan the rest of the game. There was a couple plays where I was like, wow, that was really good on Wirfs' parts. Worst parts. Jensen did all right. But, the defensive line, they did well. Nothing spectacular. But, they were getting pressure on Breeze, but just not quick enough.
You just can't. It's so hard to do with him.
Yeah. And even when he had a long time, they would get there kind of late to him. We had a couple plays where we got to him, but even when you do get to him, he's going to throw the ball.
At the offensive lineman's feet.
Right. And not get called for intentional grounding. So, just there was no spectacular performances at all. The best performance I could say would be Golston, and Barrett. But neither one of them really played spectacularly. Let me see. There was this one play, the fourth quarter, first play of the fourth quarter, Taysom Hill. It was 3rd and 4, and this kind of mess was happening all night. It was 3rd and 4. Taysom Hill's in the quarterback position. They snapped the ball. It was a bad snap. It rolled on the ground. Right. Taysom Hill scrambles to pick it up. He picks it up. There's nobody on our. We got no penetration on this. We had 6 guys in coverage. So that means we rushed 5. We didn't get any penetration. If we would have, then would have been able to recover that ball or at least get to Taysom Hill while I was fumbling for it. So we had 6 guys in coverage. They ran 4 receivers out with one of them completely wide open.
What?
All 6 of our guys were on the right side of the field. And this tight end, he ran over to the left side. Nobody covered him at all. He was wide open. I think he ended up getting 40 yards. And that was Carlton Davis. I don't know what he was doing. He just ran to the other side of the field for some reason, left the whole complete left side of the field completely wide open. There was nobody over there. It was 6 guys on one side covering 3 receivers. No guys on the other side covering 1 receiver. So it was just stuff like that all game long. And, we have got to, if this isn't a wake-up call to our team, then, we're not even going to make the playoffs this year. Hate to say, but we've gotten worse every game since that Green Bay game. And this game was just a poor performance. I felt like none of these guys had even practiced for this game. We didn't even have a game plan. No, say game plan. We don't really game plan the way a lot of teams game plan.
But they just weren't ready.
No. These guys were not prepared or not. I don't know. Not on point. I don't even know how to explain it.
Joe Bucs fan wrote an article today about the nighttime games because it does seem like this keeps happening. And BA had talked about it and said, basically, I don't know what it is, our game day prep, if they're not, mentally in it or, we have to do something different the day of, but something's got to give. Especially, this week we have a 1:00 game, but then next week we're on prime time again playing the Rams. So,
oof, man, I'm not looking forward to that.
I know. We got to get it together.
Yeah, if we don't play better, they're just going to beat the mess out of us. They are a strong physical team, and we're not playing real physical. You know, we're not playing smart either, nor are we playing fast. We're just not playing well. Bad execution. That's what I would say. Bad execution all across the board. There isn't anybody, and can't really say the running backs did bad. They didn't get a chance to do anything. They blocked well.
Oh my
they
gosh.
caught well. So, but it's just a bad showing, and it was embarrassing because the whole world was watching, the whole football world.
Yeah, and it's a division game. You want to be competitive at least.
I really, really thought we were going to get revenge on them. Just after that week 1 game, it just seemed like we should have just really come out.
Done something and learned from it,
Yeah.
Something. But, I wonder if the Saints have just kind of figured us out.
Well, I would say that if it wasn't for the fact that we played so poorly against the Giants, and then how our defense was starting to go downhill against the Raiders. Just to me, it looks like a progression of we're just getting worse. I don't know if the defense is getting big-headed. They've read their press clippings. They think they're better than they are.
They're tired. I don't know. I mean, we don't have a bye. I haven't had a bye yet. Vita, that might have been a bigger loss than any of us anticipated.
It was a huge loss. Yeah. It's just our run defense isn't near as formidable now. And the pressure is not there. Vita got pressure a lot.
Yeah.
He's just so strong. It was like he just shut down a whole quarter of the field. You can't run in his direction.
Mm-mm.
You've got to watch him, on the pass rush. And so that section around him was just off limits. And that's gone now. And Nacho and Golston, they are, I like them. They play with a lot of heart. They don't stop. And they're not bad players. Golston's, got bigger and stronger, and he's able to do a lot more this year. But they're not Vita Vea.
Mm-hmm.
And McClendon, I think what have we had him for 2-3 games now?
Yeah.
3 games. I think I've had one time where I've written down that he had a good play. Now, he doesn't screw up.
Yeah.
Which that's just as important as having, if not more important than having. That brings me to Barrett, too. I want to talk about that. Barrett, I talked about this all year last year. Barrett just does not make mistakes. The guy is very smart. He knows what he's supposed to do, and he does it. Mm-hmm. He's never out of position. He doesn't get beat in blocks. Like if they're running to his side, he's always going to push it back to the inside. He's not going to get down blocked into the linemen, stuff like that. He was that way in this game too. He's just, the guy just doesn't make mistakes. Yeah. It's really incredible. I mean, of course everybody makes mistakes, but he'll make, I don't know, one mistake a game, where he's out of position or something, but
it's incredible.
It is. It really is. The guy's really good.
That reminds me, did you see his new move?
Did not see a new move. I looked at every play and watched him, and I was like, where's this new move at?
Yeah. Dang it.
Yeah.
Maybe next time.
But we got burnt by Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill really beat us up. And, that guy scares me. We talked about that.
I know. It's so weird because everyone else in the league is like, oh, he's overrated. He's, why are they paying him so much?
No, he is. He is really good.
He's so fast, too.
He's fast. He's strong. He's got a great arm on him. He seems smart. It's just,
He's got a little gerbil face. That's what he reminds me of, a gerbil.
All right, so that wraps it up. If you want to get some of the interesting plays that I talked about here on visuals, go check out the videos on YouTube, things I found interesting. It was a very, very enjoyable game to watch. It was just in its absurdity. Yeah, but it wasn't competitive at all. And, the refs, they were, just not doing anything. They were not calling it. And I put it in the video a lot. There were holds where they were stretching our jerseys out.
Yeah.
2 feet.
Which one? Was it the one on Ryan Smith? Was it Ryan Smith they did it?
Yeah, Ryan Smith running down the only player in the middle of the field, and there's a guy tugging on his jersey.
Yeah. And remember, we wore the red jerseys, so it like stands out.
You would
like
think.
you can't miss it.
You would think. But there's something about that white jersey because it seemed like a lot of times we didn't even see guys. Like the Connor block, the number 10 in the end zone. He just went right between our guys. It just seemed like a lot of times we just couldn't see them. I don't know if they were blending in with their guys on the sideline or what, but I don't know, man. Got to come up with some reason. Again, it's like the banking crisis. I'm going to find out what I don't like, and I'm going to blame it. Jason Light, what is wrong with you?
Offensive line.
Yeah. Well, I am, again, with the media, it does discourage me that, they will pick out, they picked out the zone coverage thing. And then the Mike Evans, he's not throwing it to Mike Evans enough. And then there was the one play where they're like, Mike Evans was open on this play, and he didn't throw it to. That happens a lot. I've been talking about that for years. Quarterbacks, James Winston was absolutely atrocious for it. He would miss seeing open players 6 times a game. Tom Brady is not great at it, but, he's keeping it down to 2 or 3 times a game. But it happens. And for them to pull out that one play and be like, this is the reason why we lost, because Tom Brady's not seeing Mike Evans open. I'm like, what? Y'all don't even watch. I hate that. They, take out one play. It's the same thing with the zone stuff. It's like, why do we play zone? We always play zone. We play zone about 30% of the time, maybe even half. We mix it up so much. You can't ever tell what we're going to do. Sometimes we play zone. Sometimes we play man. Sometimes we play man press. Sometimes we play off coverage. Sometimes we play right on top of people in zone. Sometimes we do half zone, half man. We do all kinds of stuff. We zero coverage. If you could think it, we do it during a game. And why they picked out this zone coverage mess this year, this game, I have no idea. But it does discourage me that they put that narrative out there and then everybody jumps on the bandwagon.
Mm-hmm.
So now everybody's mad at Tom Brady because he's not throwing to Mike Evans when Mike Evans is open. Or everybody's mad at Byron Leftwich for having a bad defensive game plan.
Yeah, top balls.
Yeah. Byron Leftwich didn't tell him not to tackle guys.
Right.
Byron Leftwich didn't tell him not to cover guys.
Top balls.
Or Tom Bowles.
Yeah.
What did I say? Byron Leftwich.
Yeah, Byron.
Yeah. If Byron Leftwich wasn't telling people to drop passes or
right. Don't throw to Mike Evans.
Run a curl route when you're supposed to run a go route. It's like these people were screwing up out there.
Did you watch Rondé's film breakdowns this week?
No, I didn't.
I didn't either. I was just curious if you hadn't seen it.
Yeah, I need to.
What he had to say.
Yeah, I haven't really I watched a couple of the press conferences, but I've been busy this week, so
nursing me back to health.
Yeah. Right.
2 sick kids.
Yeah. My daughter's been sick and my wife has been sick, so keeping daddy busy.
Yeah.
Well, the daughter was sick and she was fine when she was sick because, she kind of laid on the couch, watched TV, and I'm all... I don't
know, kids, they just shake it easier.
Yeah. Well, when they shake it, all of a sudden they're full of energy.
Yeah.
So, like yesterday, I'm trying to get stuff done, and she was like a monkey on my back all day long, just,
And I'm like useless. Completely useless.
Yeah, you're useless. And so anyhow, no, I have not watched any of Rondé's coverage. I always like his coverage.
Yeah.
The best, I'm going to put this out there, the best person to watch for football coverage, if you want to get the X's and O's, is a quarterback school. Now, he mainly does offense. QB school. Yeah. What's his name?
Oh, JT O'Sullivan?
Yes, he used to be a quarterback.
He was a quarterback. I don't...
journeyman quarterback.
I think early in the 2000s.
Mm-hmm. He played with a lot of teams, kind of like Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Mm-hmm.
The guy is really knowledgeable, and he'll show you all kinds of stuff on the offense. And he's very good at giving a good presentation.
You need to look up his Nathan Peterman video.
Oh, God. His Nathan Peterman video. Me and Molly will watch that every now and then when we want a good laugh because it is hilarious.
It's awesome.
And his video on Colin Kaepernick's workout is spectacular. He's a big Colin Kaepernick fan, but you watch that video and he will tell you Colin Kaepernick could not play in the NFL. The way he was out there doing, it was just horrible. It was just bad. And he breaks it down. And he's a really good guy. But again, even with him, I watch these professionals, the guys that have played in the thing, these professional analysts and all that stuff. They'll break down film, and normally what they do is they'll bring out one or two plays, and they have to do that because they don't have all the time in the world. So they'll break out plays, and a lot of times they're wrong. I'll see stuff that they do, not a lot of times, but every now and then they'll be wrong. And I've caught a couple times with J.T. O'Sullivan where he's been wrong about Buccaneers offensive plays. And I've been like, oh, hey. So, even the best and the professionals get it wrong sometimes. Yeah. I know I get it wrong. That's one of the reasons why I don't touch into the X's and O's as much, because there's just so much you can get wrong. It's because you don't know if the receiver ran the wrong route, even what the play's supposed to be, if they lined up correctly. You don't know. You don't know what it was in the huddle, and you just kind of have to guesstimate. And then a lot of times I will think one thing, and during the press conference, Bruce Arians will say another thing, and I'll be like, oh, wow, I never thought about that. And I'll go back and look at the game film, and I'll be, well, yep, that's exactly what he said. I would have been totally wrong if I would put that on film. So, yeah. It happens.
It happens.
All right, we've got the kittens coming up, and we've got a little bit of Bucs news. Molly's going to take that for us. What you got, Molly?
Antoine Winfield Jr. was named the mid-season Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Nice.
Have you ever heard of the mid-season Defensive Rookie of the Year? Me neither. But it's a thing, and he won it. So, yay.
Mid-season Rookie of the Year.
But, I mean, it kind of seems like he'll be on track, for Defensive Rookie of the Year at the end of the year.
Yeah.
If he keeps playing this way. Yeah. And it's nice to see that he's been recognized for that.
Yeah, he hasn't done a whole lot in the past few games.
But nobody has.
Right, exactly. Nobody has.
Ryan Jensen was nominated for the Salute to Service Award. So this is his second year in a row. The award recognizes players for honoring and supporting the military community. The finalists are announced in January, and then the winner is announced at the NFL Honors, which is aired the week of Super Bowl.
Now, every team nominates one player.
Correct.
For this. Vincent Jackson used to be our guy. Every year, Vincent Jackson, he's huge. His parents were in the military and all that good stuff. And I think he won it.
Did he?
Didn't he?
I can't remember.
I want to say he did. I can't remember.
He
won it
should
one
have.
year. But, yeah, the whole time he was with us, that was his thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, Ryan Jensen.
And he's still big into it and into the community.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So. Jack Sitchie returned to practice this week. He has been on IR the last 4 weeks. So there is a 21-day window where he can be activated. So we will see.
Okay.
All right, let's get on to this game preview. I'm not going to lie. I'm not nervous about it, but I'm a little nervous about it. The Panthers are currently 3-6. They're on a 4-game lose streak.
Yay.
I know. Which is, you think that's great, but then on the other side, you're like, they're really going to want to break this streak. And in fact, they're now tied with Atlanta in the division. Did you know Atlanta is 3-6? And I know. So they're like, what, on a 3-game win streak too? Weren't they 0-6 or 0-5? Something like that. And actually, the Panthers lost the tiebreaker. So they're actually 4th in the division. They're last.
That's exactly how we thought it was going to be.
Atlanta overtook them.
Yeah.
Which I did not think that was going to happen. That really surprised me, but I guess Carolina has set the bar so low.
Yeah. Carolina's not a good team. People are like, oh, they're playing really good football. They're not really. They're playing basic football, and, people are starting to get film on them now. Before at the beginning of the year, people didn't have film on, didn't know what they were going to do. So now they're really getting beat up.
I don't know how they lost last week though, because
who'd they lose to?
The Chiefs.
Oh, the Chiefs.
And it was one of those games. I think we had it on in the 1:00 spot, and it was one of those games where Well, the Chiefs, it's kind of their MO. Like, they let you get up, they let you score a touchdown, and then they come back and make you pay for it and beat the shit out of you. So that's kind of what they did. But in all kinds of metrics, you know, Carolina really outperformed them, and I'm just not really sure how they lost this game. The score was 31-33. The time of possession, Carolina had the ball 38 minutes to Kansas City's 22 minutes.
Damn.
Yeah. Carolina had 435 yards. Kansas City had 397, so about 40 yards. Carolina had 76 plays to Kansas City's 58.
Damn.
Yeah. Rushing, Carolina had 104 to Kansas City's 36. Although in passing, Kansas City had 361 yards to Carolina's 331. So they did have 30 yards passing on them. But, I mean, that's a huge disparity, 70 yards for rushing. And then turnovers, Kansas City had committed a fumble and lost it. And Carolina had no turnovers. So you're like, how did they lose that game? They found a way. Especially, to me, the time of possession was such a huge disparity.
Yeah, it is huge.
That was
almost as bad as our time of possession in this game.
Yeah. They did give up 59 yards to Travis Kelce last week. So, you know, that might bode well for Gronkowski.
If he can catch the ball.
Yeah. Get it together.
Get it together, Gronk.
As a reminder, in our week 3 matchup, we beat the crap out of them, 31-17.
Is that week 3 or week 2?
Week 3.
Who did we play week 2?
Hold on. Oh, wait. No, that was week 2.
Okay.
You're correct, sir.
Yeah, we played Denver week 3.
Okay. No, we played the Chargers week 3.
I think we played the Charger
week
4.
No, I'm looking at their schedule. You're right. So last time we played them, Teddy Bridgewater went 33 for 42 for 367 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and we sacked him 5 times. So a very good performance by the Bucs defense. However, I am concerned that we gave up 367 yards passing, and I would like to see the Buccaneers tighten that up this week against them. Yeah. I have some concerns. DJ Moore had 120 yards and Robbie Anderson had 109 yards. So they had 200-yard receivers that game. They committed 3 fumbles. They had 3 fumbles. They lost 2. So that was good for us. Christian McCaffrey, that was the game that we hurt his ankle. So they lost him like midway through. And they're not going to have him this week either. He's out. He played last week, as Ralph knows.
Yeah, I didn't play him in fantasy, and he scored 36 points.
Yeah. Well, he hurt his shoulder that game. So
I played all Buccaneers and ended up with 49 points total. I got absolutely destroyed. Buccaneers defense, Buccaneers kicker, Buccaneers quarterback.
Wow.
All my receivers, all my running backs. I played Mike Davis, the Carolina's second running back, and he got me 8 points. Other than that, it's all Buccaneers, baby.
All Buccaneers.
That'll teach me.
Leonard Fournette against the Panthers did rack up 103 yards rushing the last time we played them.
Yeah, they're tackling a suspect, especially up the middle. They're very weak up the middle.
I'm concerned about our run game. I really don't like what they're doing with Rojo.
Yeah.
I don't like how they're doing Rojo.
Yeah.
I think he had the hot hand. You let him keep going, but I don't think they want a hot hand.
Yeah, you always get torn between this whole loyalty and stuff, and
I just think that he
players
earned
for
it.
doing well.
Yeah. And then Mike Evans that game had 104 yards. So Tom Brady threw 1 interception and had a fumble that game, but otherwise he did pretty good. So what do you think, Ralph? How do you think
If we don't play better, up to our friggin' potential, we're going to get stomped again. You can't play. We couldn't play a high school football team the way we were out there playing. And like I said, it's not that we're, crumbling as a team. It's just like it seems like every other place somebody screws up. It's just not good discipline, execution, whatever. I mean, it's like when you have a wide open receiver, you throw the ball to him. The offensive line can block great. The quarterback can throw the ball perfect. The offensive coordinator can coordinate the receiver open, but he's got to catch the damn ball, And the way we're playing, we just let it bounce right off our helmets. I don't know what the fix for that is. I don't know if it was just one of those things where it was just kind of luck, where everybody had an off day. Usually during a game, there's a couple players that have off days, but it just seems like in this game we have. But what's scary, like I said, this is a 3rd game in a row where we've gradually gotten worse.
Like lost our oomph.
Yes. And we've got to get back to where we were in week 6. Got to.
I would hate to think that we peaked then,
Yeah, like that was the abnormality. I want to say that these screwed up games are the abnormality.
Yeah.
But if we play like we did against the Saints, we are going to get beat. Any team in the league will beat us if we play that way. And how to shore it up, I do not know. One, have a guys tackle. You'd think that would be a normal given. But again, it's like with these, it wasn't like the receivers were dropping the ball left and right. It was just, like I said, there was only 3 dropped passes. Some were in key times and all that. But then you add that up with the 3 miscommunications. So that's 6 plays right there. Then you add it up with the bad passes by Brady, and then you're up to like 9 bad plays. And then you add up to 7 bad plays by the offensive lineman. And, then you're up to 20 bad plays. And it's one person will screw up here, one person will screw up there. And it just adds up. And next thing you know, you've run 60 plays and only 5 of them have gotten you any yardage. But we can't do that. If we're going to screw up, we need to all screw up at one time.
Same play, and then just shake it out, move on to the next.
And then nobody else screws up for the rest of the game. We'll have one play where everybody just leaves the field. Oh, that reminds me. Speaking of leaving the field, I wanted to talk about this one. During the Saints game, they were kicking an extra point or a field goal. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was a field goal. And Devin White is back there, and Devin White's in charge of counting and making sure there's 11 guys on the field. Well, he's back there counting, and the referee's back there counting. And Devin White somehow counted 11 guys, 12 including himself. So he freaks out, and he's like, oh my gosh, I got to get off the field. So he runs off the field. But he was wrong. There was 11 guys, including him. When he ran off the field, there was only 10 guys. I mean, it's no big deal as far as how the play worked out. But it just goes to show. I mean, when your team can't count, the captain of your defense can't count, that's a problem.
Yeah.
It's just small things like that all throughout this game. And he was very lucky because he didn't run straight towards the sideline. He ran it at an angle and he crossed over the line of scrimmage. And luckily, they snapped the ball literally right before he crossed the line of scrimmage. They snapped the ball, or it would have been a penalty. But yeah, so he runs, gets to the sideline, and I guess somebody yelled at him and was like, hey, get back out on the field. And he turns around and kind of walks over because at that point, the play's already done.
It was over.
Yeah, it was just stuff like that almost every play.
Yeah. So we got to tighten up all that.
Yeah, we got to play disciplined football, man.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the basics.
Yeah, I think
Tackle,
so too.
catch, block.
They need to focus and
cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do your job.
Do your job.
All right, let's go through the injury report and then we will wrap it up.
All right. Who's hurt? Christian McCaffrey's out, you said?
Yeah. Let's go through the Bucs first. So Shaq Barrett has a shoulder injury. He was limited Wednesday and Thursday and then returned to full practice Friday.
That was Barrett?
Yeah.
Shoulder injury.
Yes. Levante. Okay, I don't know what this is. He was limited. It doesn't say what the injury was. He was limited Wednesday and then full participant Thursday and Friday. So he's good to go. Carlton Davis was not listed on Wednesday. Thursday, he did not practice. Friday, he was limited and he is questionable for the game.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I forget what the injury was. I saw it on Twitter. It doesn't say it on the injury report that I just... Scott Smith, you got to get it together, bro. Wide receiver Chris Godwin with the finger. He was limited Wednesday and Thursday, a full participant on Friday. Gronk, he missed Wednesday, but it was not injury related. So he's good to go. Ali Marpet is apparently still in the concussion protocol. He did return to practice this week in a limited capacity, and he was limited all week. He's still in the protocol. I think BA said that they would know more tomorrow, Saturday, whether he's been cleared to play or not. So we'll see about that.
One thing I want to say about Joe Haig, he went up against 93 David Onyemata just about the whole game. That guy's good, Onyemata. I mean, he beat a lot of people on the offensive line, when he would move around. It wasn't just Joe Haig getting beat. That guy was pretty good. So, Haig had a full plate. Let's put it that way. And like I said, we didn't give him any assistance. You think we would have kept the running back in to help have Jensen keep an eye on him? I don't know.
They just threw him to the wolves.
Yep.
He did pretty good, huh? I mean, okay. Steve McClendon has a shoulder injury. He was limited Wednesday and Thursday, but a full participant on Friday. Jaden Mickens, he missed practice Friday, but it was not injury related, and apparently his status is questionable. I don't know what that's about. Scotty Miller has the hip and groin injury. He was limited Wednesday and Thursday, full participant on Friday. Cornerback Sean Murphy-Bunting has a groin injury. He was limited Wednesday and Thursday, full participant on Friday. Jason Pierre-Paul has a knee injury. He was limited Wednesday and Thursday and did not practice Friday, but, he's a robot, so he will be playing.
Terminator.
And Ndamukong Suh, it was not injury related. He had Friday off, so he is listed, but he is going to play. Christian McCaffrey is out. Tackle Russell Okung has a calf injury, and he is out as well. Tight end Ian Thomas, that is not injury related. He didn't practice Wednesday and Thursday, but was a full participant Friday, so he's good to go. Defensive end Stephen Weatherly has a finger injury, and I believe that they put him on IR. Yeah, they put two defensive end Stephen Weatherly with a finger injury, and then running back Reggie Bonifon had an ankle injury. So they're out, both of them, for the rest of the season. That just happened this week. Safety Jeremy Chin has a knee injury. He was limited Wednesday and Thursday, a full participant on Friday, but is listed as questionable. Defensive end Marquise Haynes has a shoulder injury. He was limited Wednesday and Thursday, but a full participant on Friday, and he is also questionable. Defensive end Yetur Gross-Matos has an ankle injury, but was a full participant all week, but they still have him listed as questionable. That doesn't make sense. Cornerback Dante Jackson has a toe injury, was a full participant all week, and he is also listed as questionable. Brian Burns had a groin injury. He did not he was limited Thursday. I think Thursday. He was limited one day, full participant one day, and then he's fine for game time.
He is really, really good. He gave our offensive line a real problem in week 2. Yeah, he's their best player, I think.
Really?
On defense, yeah.
Ooh.
By far.
Mike Davis has a toe injury, but was a full participant all week. Austin Larkin, defensive end, has a groin injury. He was limited and is questionable. And then defensive tackle Bravian Roy, never heard of this guy. Not injury related, did not practice Friday, but he's fine for game time.
What was Burns' status? Questionable? Or?
No, he's fine.
Oh, dang it.
I know.
I'm trying to get this win, man.
I know. It was a groin injury, limited Thursday, full practice Friday.
All right. So that gives us a clear view as to what we got going on Sunday as far as both teams are concerned. Molly, what do you think is going to happen? Let's get predictions in.
I'm looking for a Bucs win. I think the Bucs are going to win. But I think it'll be close. I'm going to give them that. So I will say let me do 28-24.
Damn.
Bucs.
Damn.
Listen, we only scored 3 points last week. Like,
I know. God.
Don't act like 28 is a low number.
Yeesh. Okay. I wish I could give two different versions
Two
here.
predictions.
If we don't come out and play better, there's a good chance our season is going to be a wash.
Oh my God.
Yes, I honestly feel that if we can't get over this hump now,
I have never heard you so pessimistic.
Well,
Even in our worst Jameis Winston seasons.
Yeah,
Never been so.
Well, I've never seen a team this talented play so badly.
Mm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know what it is. You can't speculate and say, "Oh, it's a revolt." And that's possible. It's possible. The way they're playing out there, you could definitely make an argument that they're not playing to win. And if we don't get over this, like I said, it's been steadily declining for 3 weeks now. And this is the team we have to do it against. We have to do it against the Panthers. If we come out and lay an egg against these Panthers, I think there's a huge possibility that our season could be a wash. Now, I'm hoping that that's not going to happen. I'm hoping it's not a locker room issue. I'm hoping that it was just a fluke where everything went the Saints' way, nothing went our way. Those games happen, and I'm hoping that it wasn't. I'm seeing a trend that's not there. About us getting worse progressively every week since week 7. So I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say we're going to beat the living crap out of these guys. I don't think Brady's going to let this happen. I think this whole team, we've got way too many guys like JPP, Ryan Jensen, Kappa, Leonard Fournette, Mike Evans. These guys do not want to lose. They are, they're veterans. They're going to get in your face, if you screw up. And, they're probably the whole locker room is in a state of fear of JPP right now, I would imagine. When he walks in, I bet everybody goes quiet.
Cowers.
Yeah, there ain't no laughing and guffawing in that locker room. I can tell you that. Not with JPP there. So I'm going to go out and say, I'm going to say 35-17.
Okay.
And they're going to get most of those in the second half of garbage time.
Okay.
I think we're just going to beat the living mess out of them. We've got to. Our team needs to.
Yeah.
We can. I don't even think we can have a close game and win it. If we have a close game and win, it's just they're not going to get us over that hump we need. We need our guys to get our confidence back and say, hey, we are the best team in the league. We definitely have the most talent.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking for Antonio Brown to have his breakout game. Yeah. It might take a little bit longer, for him to get it acclimated and adjusted and figure out the system.
I was really
wanted
surprised.
To be this week.
I was really surprised at how quick he picked it up. I mean, he was out there running great routes, got some good balls thrown his way.
Remember,
he had one mistake.
He played under BA at Pittsburgh.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, no wonder he knows.
And he was staying with Tom Brady for the week before he was able to come to practice. So
so they were using that virtual machine system probably.
Probably
playing in Gronkowski's living room. It's so huge.
Oh, really?
If he's still at DeJeter's house.
Oh,
We still haven't figured that out yet.
I don't know. Yeah, that was our fact check follow-up. I forgot.
You're horrible at this.
You are.
All right, guys, we have gone way over time here.
I'm trying to go get some Chick-fil-A.
I know she's been up my butt all day about Chick-fil-A, so we got to go do
it's
that.
Ralph's fault. He showed me a video, and the girl in it was eating Chick-fil-A, and I was like, oh, hey, I want Chick-fil-A now.
I know. She was like, I want Chick-fil-A. That girl was eating Chick-fil-A. I was like, she was? I didn't even notice. All right. That's going to wrap it up for us, guys. Let's get our positive energy out there for this Carolina game. We can really beat the mess out of them if we play up to our levels. Let's make sure we do it. If we just play 3 quarters, we play 75% of what we can play, we can beat them badly. So let's do that. Get the positive energy out there. Be excited about this game. Molly, any last words?
I like it. Let's do it.
All right. That's going to wrap it up for us. Till next time.
Go Bucs.